Let's go, ding. We are back. Smack Talk 51st episode going down. 1 week closer. Power Slap number 12. We've got the entire card. We've got the coin tosses. We're going to have the crazy Hawaiian, the former super heavyweight champ, joining us on today's show, as well in the second half hour. Anthony Babyface Blackburn, the welterweight champion, going to join us, and we're going to talk all things Power Slap number 12. And of course, we can't go on without saying Power Slap number 12 tailgate party from Circa Hotel and Casino Stadium Swim live podcast. We'll be there next week, March 6th, the night before Power Slap number 12. Breaking it down, everybody in Las Vegas, you are welcome to come out and support. We're going to have Dia Soul Vodka. We're going to have Head Rush. We're going to have Leaf Trading Cards out. TNT Sports be out there. Come and hit the Power Cube and watch the live podcast that we have during the entire event. We're super excited to be able to meet and see everybody, to be able to connect with the strikers and just have an overall good time. Ding, how's your past week been? And when you're monitoring the socials, are you feeling the excitement and the buzz and the energy for this card coming into full focus?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. I mean, listen, there's been tons of fight news. We have so many early prelim matches that feature some returns, right? The return of a guy like Makini Manu, Chelsea Dotson, a huge star. Logan Greenhall's another guy. We see Cody Young, Kiefer Roberts, just to name a few. Some guys that we saw on season 3, didn't exactly go their way. Now they get a chance at redemption. If you weren't at Circa Sports last time when we did this event, Power Slap 10 on December 5th, we did I think at that time we called it the Slap News live show. And it was that. It was a live show. It was a podcast. Corey was running his mouth for 4 hours, interviewed tons of people. It was very fun. Kudos to you for being able to do that. But, we didn't really expect everybody to just sit there for 4 hours and watch us. It was sort of, I guess, us dipping our toes in a lot of ways. This event, we are, I would say, quadrupling the quality value, the value to you as a spectator, the way that we're doing it, having all the sponsors involved, the way that we plan to sort of make it a dynamic event where you're not just listening to somebody talk on a microphone the whole time, which I'm sure most people would agree Corey's a great interviewer, and Corey, I think you are, but there's just other things going on. And if you're not able to make it to the event because you're not in town, that's totally fine. We want to bring you with us. And so we're really excited to be able to do that. Like Corey said, we've got a ton of partners that are going to come on board and sort of help us deliver that to you guys. Dios Azul Tequila, of course, Head Rush brand, our friends over at the apparel company. We've got Pegasus Smelling Salts is going to be providing us some smelling salts so we can have some fun. I personally won't be doing any smelling salts. I don't know about Corey, but we'll also have Leaf, like he said, Leaf Trading Cards will be selling boxes there. We'll be breaking cards also, giving people an opportunity. Of course, if you're not in town, you absolutely can get involved. We'll have tons of strikers there available for you to see. It'll be so much different because if I hit a big card, I can just say, Jackie, come on over. Or instead of saying somebody tag Jackie or call Jackie and get her in here virtually, I can actually get Jackie Cataline to come over to me and see her card live and in person. Yesterday, for those of you who didn't join on Whatnot, we had a one-on-one dumpling autograph. I'll post some pictures of that later on today. We also hit a Isaiah Quinones one-on-one printing plate out of the same box. Both of those went to Jackie Cataline because she's a savage. She was also the person that got the Dana White one-on-one so money. So Power Slap cards are super fun. Don't forget about them. This is the only product we expect to see this year for Power Slap. So they're going to eventually, people are going to start to run out. It's not like they're continuing to produce this thing. What's out there is out there. Luckily we invested in quite a bit. So we have plenty, but just like anyone, when we run out also.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, my man. I mean, we've got 16 fights on the card coming up. Obviously, 8 on the main card. We've got 8 that are slated to be taped. So we're going to see how all that unfolds. I mean, we've got a ton of fights to break down, matchups. It's great to get talent in there. And I mean, we've seen the strikers are already starting to arrive in Las Vegas. Some of the international athletes are there now. We know that both the coaches, the Crazy Hawaiian as well as Wolverine, are flying into Las Vegas tomorrow. They're planning Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to be holding training camps with these athletes at UFC facilities. Their main goal in all of this is giving these athletes more opportunities to train properly with coaches, with the ultimate goal of reducing fouls and improving the overall quality of the matches that we will see up there at the table. So I'm incredibly excited to see. Back in the day, they used to do this. They used to fly the athletes in a week before, and then we've seen that kind of get truncated and shortened as we kind of went along. but we're getting back to that now. Great to see the investment in it, in those strikers, bringing them to Las Vegas early and making sure that they get in there and, see everything unfold the way it is. One thing I will say, I mean, I have interviewed now probably 20 athletes on this card. I'm actually pleasantly surprised and impressed to see that a lot of these athletes are taking their weight cuts incredibly seriously and are within striking weight already. A lot of these athletes are walking around 2-3 pounds away from where their weight class needs to be. And it seems to be catching on like wildfire to not be cutting that 10, 15 pounds last minute going into the match. So great to see the athletes taking that stuff at heart, and really training more like professional athletes and taking this incredibly serious. So great to see that kind of unfold. But we definitely have a lot in the works. Ding, looking at it, whether it's a tape fight or a main card fight, I'm going to ask you, what is the fight that you are most excited about on this card?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. I'm going to say, I think I'm going to decide with the people here, and I'm going to say KO Chris Thomas versus Chris Debo. I think this is a big moment for both gentlemen. They really don't like each other. We don't get a ton of this in this sport. We haven't seen a lot of it. Most people have quite a bit of respect for one another. These guys cannot stand each other. If you saw just a couple weeks ago, they were on our show. If you haven't seen that, that's up on YouTube for you now. We also have it in small clips on Instagram. But these guys were saying some pretty rough things to each other. It's very, very personal. This is an important fight for both of these guys, right? KO Chris, is this going to continue the downward trend where he's got 2 losses? Now he's going to have his 3rd loss against a guy that's not super highly ranked. And then for Chris Debo hasn't had that performance that he really needs to sort of put himself in the, I guess, the talk for even title eliminator type of stuff. And I think you beat a guy like KO Chris, especially in emphatic fashion, you really could be looking at yourself as 1-2 away from a title shot. So I think that this is just a lot on the line. Of course, I'm super excited for the rematch between Isaiah Quinones and Brandon Bordeaux. The way that match went, right, being there live, the controversy. I think both these guys want to put it to bed, and I'm excited to see, who will, whose game plan will play out, and who will ultimately, emerge the new or the still middleweight champion of the world. Of course, Robert Trujillo and Dakota McGregor at the lightweight level. We've been waiting for this for a long time, for this belt to come out. We didn't know who it was necessarily going to be. There was rumors that there was some other stuff in the works. We get Dakota McGregor, Robert Trujillo. A lot of respect from these guys, but this is absolutely, coach and coached. If you've ever seen it, right? Season 3 coach, a contestant on season 3. Now they sort of emerge. And so is Robert Trujillo really going to rule the lightweight division, or is Dakota McGregor going to prove that, he's the new sheriff in town and he's coming to take his crown?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot to break down there. KO Chris, versus Chris Debo, one that obviously went down on this show on Smack Talk. We got into it and seen those two athletes obviously don't like each other. The one thing with this is we've seen the rise and we've seen the fall of KO Chris Thomas. Some time away, I think is going to do Chris Thomas very well, obviously, to get his mental psyche ready and back. We've seen the last couple times up there, he wasn't his classic, self. And I mean, the questions out there is how strong was that talent early on in the early days of Power Slap, and how does it stack up in regards to the talent that we have in Power Slap now? Chris Debo, we've seen the strong point for him has been his chin. How is it going to hold up against KO Chris Thomas? Has Chris Debo worked on the strike that he said he has been doing? He's had a change of scenery since last time we've seen him. We know he's moved, to the Missouri area. He's training with different people now, taking this a lot more serious. We're going to see how much his striking ability has improved, and it's going to have to improve dramatically for him to be able to take care of KO Chris Thomas in this particular match. Obviously, the welterweight division right now needs another one of these contenders to step up, whether it be Chris Debo and or Chris Thomas, both veterans in the division. We've seen Cole Young at Power Slap number 11 kind of step up and put his name in the top of the division. And if we can get another guy here that can move their way up, it could definitely help everyone's cause in this division to really make some exciting matches. We know Azael Rodriguez coming down, Emmanuel Muniz, and of course the champ, Anthony Babyface, who's going to be joining us later, Mr. Blackburn. Who's he going to get next? We're going to find out here. It almost looks like and feels like we're going to get a bit of a tournament before we see an eventual match. And so real excited to see that. But we got the man of the hour, Mr. The Crazy Hawaiian. How you doing?
Let me turn this to the side. We look official. All right.
Yes. I know you're dropping weight. But when you're vertical, you look super skinny, my man.
How do I look now? Good.
Looks good, man. I mean, you even got the mood lighting for us. Look at that. I feel special.
The Aurora Borealis. No, I've been quiet lately on social media, just kind of getting my shit together. Getting ready to head down to the heavyweight division. I was told I was gonna get a title shot. I don't know when, but I'm preparing for it. And your boy's trying to get that double on the accolade. So how's you guys doing?
I'm great, man. Yeah, super busy, incredibly excited to get there to Las Vegas, see you and all the strikers once again, in Las Vegas. It was funny, man. I'm kind of an untold story. I don't know, we haven't really said it publicly. Obviously, you and I, Jeeves, Joanne, sitting there the day after, you beat Dumpling the first time in Abu Dhabi. And, you're going on the Dumpling challenge. I think you tapped out on about 43 of them. But at that moment, you were set that you were going to go to heavyweight. Obviously the Brasa Power Slap, had a desire for you to be under 400 pounds, which we've heard from a lot of guys, even talk a lot of guys saying 380 is where they want these guys at and no more. And you were dedicated to it. We even seen you when you were coaching back in Las Vegas on the card after that, you were fasting and you could smell the ketones in your breath. Like when you're on that ketone diet, your breath even smells a certain way, as you breathe. And so, I knew you were serious at that point. And I mean, your weight just keeps on dropping down. I think where are you at now? Are you in the low 330?
I'm at 315 right now.
315. Look at that.
Yeah,
my
just
man.
Dedicated. I know I did a lot of things in super heavyweight and people see me do all those things. I just got to do them in another weight division just to stay relevant, my legacy to live on much more.
Hey, brother, good to see you, man. You look good. I'm trying to get like you. I would be remiss if I didn't ask. Obviously, we haven't talked publicly since January 30th. You have plans to go to heavyweight, but I know that you didn't have plans to lose that night. What do you think went wrong against the Dumpling on January 30th?
I just couldn't get that, that on that rematch, on the first one. I think I got him just right on the 5th round, but I just couldn't hit him where I needed to hit him, basically. You know what I mean? I just there's certain spots where you need to hit certain people. And his defense was just on point. Maybe, I don't know. I know if I would have not flinch or club, those are two obvious that I actually did. I don't know. I just couldn't do it that night. That wasn't my day. It wasn't my night. Now he holds the title, and it creates a great story for everyone else that's trying to go for the belt too. I don't know. My brother needs to avenge me.
I remember when we were talking about you avenging him against Dwayne Crespo. Now we're talking about you going down to heavyweight. Just being realistic. Obviously, you want to go down to heavyweight. I don't know that in that journey it makes sense for you to compete again at super heavyweight, right? Given everything that you accomplished there. What kind of timeline? I mean, based on what you're saying, 315, you're looking at about 80 pounds or so, some of that being weight you can cut as you prepare for a fight. So let's say 60, 65 pounds, depending on how much you want to cut in preparation. What kind of timeline are we looking at for seeing you potentially challenging for the heavyweight strap, or maybe even, if you decide you want to get used to your new body, you potentially getting a title eliminator, so to speak?
I'm shooting for October. Anywhere, after that. But my personal goal is to be down in that weight division in October, and then kind of retire from there.
Awesome, man. Let's get down to business. Obviously, you have a big role coming up here March 7th, being the coach. Do you know what corner you're on yet?
I have no clue what corner I'm on yet. They haven't told me much, but yeah, man, I'm ready. The first one was really nerve-wracking, and a lot of people don't know I was dealing with a major toothache on my first time ever coaching, and I kind of fought through it. I made it through that whole event. Obviously, I'm going to be a lot more healthy and a lot more aware of what I need to do, what it actually feels like to be a coach. Because before being a coach, no one told me how nerve-wracking and how much butterflies you'll actually get. When I compete, I get none. I get zero. I've passed that point of my career where I don't get no butterflies no more when I compete. But when I'm coaching, it's a whole nother story. You man, I had panic attacks. I had no one told me any of this would be that hard, but I'm ready for this time.
Have you ever seen Dana White's If You Don't Know, Now You Know? Have you ever seen him do that where he talks about some of the fights on the card that maybe people are sleeping on?
Yeah. I'm excited for Aaron Turner to take out this guy. I'm just kidding.
You knew where I was going with it. So what if you had to tell somebody who's never watched Power Slap before, what matches they should look out for? Start with this one that you just mentioned, but we'll go through maybe 2 or 3 that you think they should really, really keep their eye on. Talk to me about the Aaron Turner match. So first of all, what if Aaron Turner's not on your team?
I just wish the man best of luck for all his future endeavors. It don't matter which team I'm on, but if I'm on James' team, he better shape up because he been talking smack on my name. Like, put respect on my name, dog. I don't know where he came from. We're like best of friends, buddies in Abu Dhabi, and all of a sudden here comes this smack talk. So I'm gonna just lay down the law and put the puppy where he belongs, because you still got a ways to go to where I'm at right now. You got some floors, some things to accomplish before you start talking that smack. But I am coming down to weight division, so we'll make it fun. Who knows if James got what it takes? I don't think so. Even if I'm James' coach, I'm gonna coach him the best I can against Turner. But I think Aaron Turner's got a bright start. If you don't know, now you know. Watch out for this match. It could go both ways. Both guys got knockout power. One of them got a weird style. One of them got just a straight up military style. You'll see. This match right here will have you, if you don't like the sport, or if you're a skeptic, or if you just don't believe in slap itself, watch this one. You're gonna see what it's all about. You're gonna see the technique, power, defense, all of the above. You're gonna have this match right here will has the potential to be the match of the night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. What about let's see. What do you think about? Let's talk about a little bit of the ladies. What do you think about Paige and Michael Brown? Obviously, you spent some time with Michael Brown at the last event when you were coaching the opposite corner. But we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Hopefully, Power Slap got their stuff together and actually, figures out what side I'm coaching at. But I would love to know as soon as possible, because it gives me more time to actually work with my striker, and and I get to actually study, because I'm not out there just watching everybody's matches. I also have my own goals that I'm trying to accomplish. But if I know for a fact that I'm coaching red or blue corner, then it will help me a lot do my job better. For
Well, I mean, now, dude, if you're 315, you can almost walk into CVS and buy a shirt, so they have no excuse to not have your size anymore.
Oh, absolutely not. Put me on the red corner. I belong on the red corner. Yeah. I haven't been any corner since the beginning. So yeah, you already know, champs on the red. By the way, my last super heavyweight match, if there is any, the only one that I'm gonna accept is another rematch with Vasily.
I think that might be breaking news. I generally trust Brandon Bordeaux's what he says on here. It's usually correct. So if he's correct, then you would be the red corner.
Hey, there you go. Okay, yep. I'm the red corner. All right. Now going back to Turner's match.
Now Isaiah's co-signing it saying red also. So yeah.
All right, everybody's saying red. That's what's up. Okay. That means I gotta bring my 5X red shirt. I don't know. They might they might have to give me another one.
You and Robert Trujillo can wear it together to fill in the rest of the space.
Man, it's gonna be fun, man. You guys better be there. If you guys haven't bought your tickets yet, go ahead and do so.
Just do me one favor. I just got one favor. If you're Robert Trujillo's coach and he wins, I need you to put him on your shoulder like a little kid, like right here.
I'd have to talk. Are you guys? Wait, Corey, are you gonna give somebody really $5,000 to stand on?
Oh my God, this thing lives again, bro. This is God.
Well, first off, it was never $5,000, so this number has gone up exponentially. And this was said like over a year ago. So like the fact that this Orton legend still lives on is pretty wild, my man.
But what were the rules? The rules were that you have to jump, you have to knock your opponent out, jump on the podium, and like do like a bow and arrow type of thing. Something like that, or a spear. I don't remember.
That's a lot more than.
But you have to jump on the podium. Like it was a big. Somebody asked. I'm not gonna say who it was. But somebody asked about it. I think for Saudi and then lost.
Yeah, I think it should be raised with every other thing that's added on there. So if I jump on there, grab Robert, and put him on my shoulder. It's gonna be like $10,000 worth right there. Oh, no,
what's gonna happen to the main event? The table's not gonna work at that point.
Okay, so what do you guys got? What do you guys got for the main event? Who you guys taking for that one?
Then go ahead, my man.
Well, I won't do a pick because that would be unfair. But I'll say if we're talking about what we're looking for here. Obviously, I think Brandon brought something out in that last match that Isaiah didn't necessarily expect him to have, just because it was so much different from what we've seen from Brandon in the past. So I think naturally, he may not say this publicly, but I think naturally, anybody would have a little bit of skepticism knowing that somebody hit them when they felt like they were sort of unrockable and they were pretty sure that this guy wasn't going to be the one to do it, and then he does. I think it's just natural for you to know moving forward. Like I really gotta expect everything with this guy. And I think on the flip side for Brandon, for him to start the match that way and then lose, controversy, no controversy, whatever it is, he walked away the loser that night. And I think that not only does he have a chip in his shoulder, but he also understands that there's things that you expect to happen and there's things that you don't expect to happen. I don't think he expected it to go that way. Whether he was okay, whether he wasn't. The truth is, and Brandon, I say this with the utmost respect because I know you're watching. If you were good, like not on the ground at all, then there would be no the fight wouldn't have been called off. So I think for him, he would like to right that wrong, and I think both guys want this to end clearly, and they don't want to have that kind of controversy again. And so I'm interested to see, like I said, whose game plan will come out on top. Because Brandon said, I think it was a quote, "I'll rip his chin right off the front of his face." And Isaiah, gave him kudos and said he found my chin faster than anybody else has. So I think that whatever that technique was that he employed that was different from everything that we've seen in the past from Brandon Bordeaux, I think that changed Isaiah's perception of what this guy could really bring to the table. And so, I think both guys have a lot of respect for one another now and what they can do. At the same time, though, I think that they're going to be a lot more careful than they were the first time, and neither of them are going to be overlooking what's across the table from them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And that is how you duck a question like that.
That's how you do it. Bob and weave that bad boy. I take the winner on this one.
Yeah. You're on a 185?
No. Whoa, I might have to do a lot more than diet than to go to 185. I'm gonna lose everything.
I think your left leg is 185.
My middle leg. No, just kidding.
Listen, I just need Robert Trujillo on your shoulder. That's it. If he wins, it can only be him because he's the only one that's like a little,
All right, 1K sounds good.
We can't make this deal publicly.
We're just milking slap news today. That's what we
can't. We cannot make this deal publicly. DM us though. We'll talk about it.
Man.
Yeah, we can't be on the record. We can't be liable if Frank and Aaron want to come back when you guys break the table and put it on us. I'm sure that table costs more than $1,000. Probably costs more than $5,000.
I wonder-
Yeah,
I-
especially with the screens on it now. They have
I
the
wonder
sponsorship
how
screens.
much pounds it will actually hold. That'd be a good, funny statistic.
Well, it rises from the bottom of the stage, so I'd imagine it's not on anything like significant.
Right.
Imagine sitting there in the rules meeting. How many pounds does that that table hold?
Just out of curiosity.
I wonder how much people actually hit that thing going down, like a real number of it. How much percent?
I don't know. That would be a Dwayne Crespo question.
Throwing you guys off right now. I'm so proud of my brother for the last one. I'm voting for him at least. Like, give him a tighter shot if he wins the next one. I don't know. Just saying.
What's crazy about your brother, and I think we talked about this last week. What's crazy is that when he was sort of like this like dark horse, right? With you at the top, I was the guy, and I'll say this straight up. And I remember because I told Corey to ask this question. It was and now looking back, it was a bad question. Dana seemed pretty uncomfortable by it. But asking about the brothers, right? And Dana's like, I mean, that's pretty gangster, but I don't know if I'd have brothers fighting each other. And then I saw the way you guys like love each other, and I was like, nah, these guys ain't gonna hurt each other. That's just they wouldn't do. Nobody's gonna do that to their blood. So then I was like, I don't really want to see it. Now, dude, I'm like, this is crazy. Like now you're out of the division, you're going down. He has a crazy performance, and now I feel like there's this massive appetite for him to have a title fight. I think it's incredible, and it goes to show you that one performance is not necessarily always the caliber of talent, right? He beat a debutante, but it was just the way that he did it, right? He gets hit, it wobbles him just a little bit, and then he comes back and just melts him. I mean, this massive guy from Russia that everybody was kind of touting has fought the dumpling to a draw in bare knuckle. Like, who would have thought this guy would just sleep him like that in vicious fashion? And then now, like I said, with everything going on, he's one of just a handful of guys that you could talk about, right? Obviously, Kalani's up there, and McKinney, depending on what happens this weekend, or not this weekend, next weekend, who knows what that conversation will look like, but it really puts him in line for a title match.
Man, big proud older brother right here. I just like everything about this match.
What did you think of Dennis when you seen him on social? Like, just the sheer size of the guy.
Yeah, I was at awe about this guy, and then even in person while we're walking around. But I compared my brother's size to him, and I told him, man, you're not that much more smaller. And this is our natural size right now. Where my brother's at right now, that's what we're comfortable at. We don't try to lose weight or nothing. But where he's at, that's what is it, 380 or something? I told him he belongs there, and me being 400 pounds, I just really didn't feel like I belonged that size. Even just walking through the airport, I'm just like looking for a bench or something, just sit down.
You weren't always that big.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. My wife just told me I wasn't always that big. So coming through, that was a really good shot, giving and taking. Round the first shot by Dennis, but him walking around, obviously he's just a massive dude. I think during the weigh-ins in the backstage, everyone was just tripping out about how big his arms was. But as you can see right here, this one on round one, right on one. My brother did probably the most damage I've seen one person take without going down. Thumb could have been less out the way, but
is Dennis's head small in person, or is it just small compared to the size of his body?
Babe,
because look at his hand. Hand hit his thumb hit his forehead as well. So like,
yeah, I think his head is a lot more smaller in person than it looks. I think that's why big guys get beards most of the time, because he does look like he have a small head right now. I can't wait to see him come back though. He truly belongs where he's at. My brother just gave him a welcome to Power Slap ordeal right here. He did this slap right here did surprise me. I mean, he does know where to hit. And he's pretty fast for being that big of a person. If you watch the hand speed of it, this guy is pretty quick. I always preach hand speed about what we're doing here because you know you never know. You could be
bleeding too.
Yeah. I didn't even notice the bloody nose the first time I saw this.
I think right here he actually hits him and blood actually drops on his own arm.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Yeah, that was a good shot. That's exactly where you need to hit somebody, right there.
Bro, getting stumbled and talking shit while you're stumbling is next level, bro. That was great. That was great. He's like, ah!
He's like, yeah, I got it.
Honestly, Lane, how good could your brother be if he actually trained? Because I mean, it's very public that he does zero work going into this.
That's and I grew up in a house of 8 boys, and I'm the oldest boy, and he's one of the only ones that I actually, you know, when I was growing up, I was actually kind of scared to piss him off, and he just had this way about him. If you look at him and you don't know that he's not the oldest boy, you would think that he's probably the oldest boy in his family. He just holds himself to that standard. He never, you know, he never did see himself as a, you know, smaller, fat, or weaker or slower brother. He was always there with the bigger boys, and he just always had what it took. And look at him. He's just like, I can really say though that he has done really well lately in training, in the training aspect, in the craft of it, not just getting stronger or faster, just the craft of slap. And that was an amazing slap, by the way. Obviously proud older brother over here. You know, he knows what he needs to do. He's seen somebody very close to him do what it is to do to be a champion, walk around like a champion, talk like a champion. So I really believe that he's up next in the, you know, bloodline at least. And I'm making my way down to the heavyweight. But Power Slap 12, we got the girls coming back, and I'm excited to see that. I know Chelsea's coming back as well. Isn't she coming back?
She is, absolutely.
She's coming back. I just want to see the sport keep on growing, and this is how it's gonna be. There you go.
Yeah, so Chelsea Dodson going to take on Nicole DeSigny. Interesting thing is they actually know each other because Nicole actually lived in Albuquerque. She trained with Greg Jackson MMA the same time that John Dodson was training there as well. So she actually knew, you know, Chelsea back from 2017 to 2020. Pre-pandemic. When the pandemic hit, she went back to Italy. So they actually have known each other in the past, and they're going to square off here at 125 in Power Slap. So it's
she fighting out of Italy right now?
Yeah. She flew in.
Wow.
She flew in on Tuesday from Italy. So yeah, she's back in her hometown. Yeah.
Look at the matchmakers. Look at the matchmakers. Good job, Erica, with bringing everyone from everywhere. You know. I'm 100%. Liking the recruitment of Power Slap in the late few Power Slap events.
Absolutely, my man. All right, buddy, we're going to let you run. We appreciate you joining us. You've got a home here anytime. I know you've been quiet. Look forward to seeing you there next week. We're going to have you out at Circus Swim for the tailgate party.
Absolutely. This time I'm staying because I don't have anything going on that night. So I'm going to stay there and kind of just hang out with everybody and jump on that live.
Yeah, Slap for Cash said he wanted to come do Smell Assault, so make sure you bring him with you.
Slap for Cash needs to stay home if you don't want to get knocked out. I'm just saying.
Awesome, my man. Appreciate you, dude. Much love. We'll see you there next week.
Peace out, boys.
All right. All right. Great as always having the former super heavyweight champ, the Crazy Hawaiian, join the show, the breakdown, the smiles, the laughs, everything, my man. True, great ambassador for the sport. We're going to see him back again. Interesting, you kind of threw it that he might want another shot at super heavy before he eventually makes his way down. Obviously, the Barassa Power Slap will have a lot to say in that. But interesting to say that he's being realistic at least. October before he gets down there, for heavy. I mean, if he's at 315, he's realistically only 50 pounds away from that. And I believe you alluded to it before, Ding, and we know his wife kind of said it, like he wasn't always this size. He was down there before. And so, muscle memory kicking in and stuff like that can definitely play a part in it all. So let's bring our next guest in. Anthony Babyface Blackburn is going to be joining us. Let's go, my man. What's up?
What's up, Babyface?
Babyface, yeah.
Let's go.
It's Labor Face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because all the work you're putting in.
Whatever you want to call me, it all fits.
Yeah. Awesome. How have you been?
Dude, I'm kind of like in some kind of like weird limbo, working on some car troubles, trying to nip that situation in the butt. And yeah, it's been a long winter, man. This seasonal depression's hitting hard.
Car troubles. I thought you bought a new truck.
Yep.
Your victories.
So it was a couple weeks before my championship defense with Manny that I crashed my truck. So yeah, had to get a new one.
Gotcha. But so long cold winter in Michigan. I'm assuming it's been under 32 for you for a while.
We
go ahead.
We just got warm up. We just got into the 40s the last few days, and the snow is going away. But yeah, it's been pretty damn cold.
Gotcha. Are you gonna make to Vegas next week and get out of the cold?
Tomorrow morning, baby, I'm ready.
Oh, look at that, going in early.
Yeah.
You there in any official capacity, or are you just going out for your own, just to spread the love and grow the Right on One Army?
So I think that I know you guys have seen the Apex under construction for the last year or whatnot. Frank had called me last week, literally while I was online shopping for my hotel and plane ticket, and he said, "Hey, we want you to come out. We're having more strikers come out for some training. We want to get the fouls down, and we want to have a better product. So we're going to bring you out to train some of these strikers that are new." And yeah, hooked me up with the hotel, and me and Ron are going to be helping some of these pre-recorded matches out with some training.
Amazing, man. Great to hear. Obviously right at the top of the show, I talked about that. I think it's great that they're investing in this. Overall quality is definitely going to come up. And I mean, we're going to see, but I think the more training, the more practice, the better guidance from the guys like yourself and, Wolverine, who's a veteran of the sport, can only help as we go along here. So I'm definitely excited to see that, man. And glad you're going to be out there and staying through for the entire event. Otherwise, we talked about the division a little bit right now last time. Not a lot's changed since. Obviously, Cole Young, getting a victory at Power Slap 11 adds an extra name to the hat at the top of the division as someone who can kind of get, in that upper echelon. This time around, I know Ding talked about it a little bit earlier, but we've got KO Chris and Chris Debo. What's your thoughts and feelings around this match?
This match is super duper important to me because, there's obviously this is competition. We're all striving for the same thing. And it just so happens that I worked my way up to this. So now that, everyone's gunning for this spot and, especially KO Chris, he had the belt and it's really took a toll on his mental this past year. He's switched up on and off, being friendly, being not friendly, talking smack. And like he said the other week, he can't get anybody to respond to him. Well, it's because you're talking a bunch of crap and it's not very viable. Like your crap it's your own in your own head. So I really want to see Debo give it to him.
Awesome. So is that your official prediction? You think Debo is going to be victorious in this one?
I really think that I think they're going to be going 3 rounds. I really do believe that Debo's chin is going to hold up. Depending on each of their weight cuts, I don't know what KO Chris is sitting at. Debo is 184 today, so I mean, 15 pounds for Debo, and I want to say Chris ain't far from that area. 10, 15 pound cut.
Mhm.
We'll see who's got the water in the head, I think.
Yeah, I mean Debo, is kind of notorious, obviously, for his weight cuts. And obviously what happened on the show, not able to kind of rehydrate himself and get back there. So hopefully he's ahead of the curve this time around. I mean, if guys are sitting 10, 15 pounds out at this point, I mean, it's still not ideal, but they definitely have a bit more time to be able to connect. I think really that sweet spot is getting on that plane, no more than 5 pounds off. That's my personal thoughts. But
and that's where I'm at today. I weighed in 174 the past couple of days. So if some crazy stuff happens and they want to throw my head and throw my name in the hat for a match, I'm ready. I'm always going to be ready.
Are you flying with that belt then, just in case?
I'm not going to not bring that thing. I got to have it for the whole week.
Babyface, I'll ask you similarly to what I know you're backstage, so I know you saw this. Dana White does this. If you don't know, now you know. Sort of talks about the matches maybe people don't necessarily have their eye on, but they should. So if you were talking to somebody who's never watched Power Slap before, what match or matches would you tell them to keep an eye out for, and how would you sort of illustrate why they should keep an eye on those matches?
I think I'm really excited for the Paige Van Zant, Michael Brown. I think they are both going to bring some intensity for a women's match. They both have taken slaps. Neither of them's been knocked down. This is going to be one of those matches where I think we're going to see the first real test and even match for a female match. I'm excited for this one. And then also, obviously, Brandon Bordeaux and Quinones. Brandon took on some coaching from my coach, so he's taken some strength and striking tips from who trains me. And I'm really excited to see the new product, because if you were, on the fence about them before and how their power was going to match up in the chins, wait till you see the product this time from Brandon Bordeaux, because I'm guaranteeing you that it's going to be a spectacle to behold.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it earlier. I don't know that there's been a lot of conversation surrounding this, but obviously Paige Van Zant fought in MMA at 125 flyweight. Michael Brown, when she made her debut in Power Slap, was at 135. Paige just fought at 135. Now they're both making the transition down to flyweight 125. What do you think about so now we'd be looking at women's divisions in 125, 135, 145, and 170 as it stands. What do you think that says about the future for females having such a wide range that they don't even have an MMA? I mean, there's no MMA organization that I know of that has 170-pound women going at it.
Redneck brawl. But it's going to be huge, and this furthers the expansion of all the women divisions. This is going to be something to where they're going to be able to set up soon some belt opportunities, get more women in these pre-recorded matches, and build the roster up on that end. It's just how deep are we looking to get with each division, and because it takes time. You're not going to have 20 matches every month. Obviously, we're going to have time in between these cards still. It takes time to build this up, and I think it's going at a pretty good steady climb. We're going to see some good things coming this year.
Yeah, one of the things we did at the beginning of the year was we talked about 5 matches that we thought need to happen in 2025.
We got 3 of them down.
yeah, right. It's almost as if we know something. Your match against Azael's on there. Do you feel like that when that call comes in, do you feel like that in your heart of hearts, do you really feel like that's what's going to be next? Or do you think that there's a world where, timing doesn't match up or something's not right and they give you somebody else at this point in your division?
I think it's really hard. The general consensus between, the strikers and everyone else, family and whatnot, family and friends, obviously everyone on Azael's side is going to be like, yeah, he deserves a title shot, blah, blah, blah. Most of the general population says that he can't just come down and have a title shot just because he was at the top of the division at middleweight. They want him to prove himself, prove he can make weight. I know he's going to make weight. He's already sitting right around where I'm at. It's not going to be a problem for him, but there's still does he carry the same power? Does he still have the same chin at 170 that he has at 185? Is everything going to translate over now that he's coming down? And I'm sure it will, and I'm sure he's going to be just as competitive, but other people might not see it as fair just because he's right to a title shot and he's really aiming for it and wants it. They want him to. A lot of people want to see him a contender fight.
But against who?
That's why I like the movement we have right now, because this KO Chris Debo match. If KO Chris wins, that puts him right back up. As far as contention, and then who's to say Azael KO Chris or Azael Manny before, just to see where he's at the 170.
Okay, I understand the rationale. Do you think there's something to be said for the fact that he fought for the middleweight championship twice, was unsuccessful, and was kind of right back up there, but then decides to move down? I mean, we've seen it in other sports where people get rushed to a title shot, and if I'm not mistaken, he beat Manny before.
Yep.
He did. So do you think there's something to say for him beating the former champion in that division? I mean, I guess you could say like Jewel Scott maybe is a guy that you could talk about. KO Chris, I don't know.
That's why it's if he wins, and Jewel, he's still up there in the conversation at all times. He just, hasn't had the standout performance. He's put up the W's. He's definitely a great slapper, and he's been an OG. He's been with the game since the beginning. So to count him out is wrong. But he has been on the back burner for a good bit now. That's why it's tough. We're all sitting here wondering what the future of the division holds, and I think that we're real close, 1 or 2 events away from seeing it really buckle down and get another title.
Core?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is why it's starting to heat up and get interesting, and I think the division needs it, to be quite honest with you. I think it's been fair, the criticism that's out of the division the last 6 months, and so I think in a lot of ways it just adds more, interest and intrigue into everything that's going on. We talked about a lot of the guys, wanting to do movement, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, guys, kind of like the 185 coming down, and I think overall, I think we're going to kind of see this evolve as things kind of move in the future. There's actually been very little talk of Road to Title Season 4. Last time they obviously identified a couple of the categories that they wanted to kind of fill out with Road to Title Season 3. Middleweights obviously were big. Heavyweights were big. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to get some lightweights and some welterweights, coming into the division through, via Road to the Title Season 4 in this one. So, I mean, it's exciting. We do know that there's obviously been, some rumors and speculation. KO Chris talked about, someone from the UFC coming over into the welterweight division that was on the contract originally, who he was supposed to fight before, the Chris Debo match was made. So, there's definitely interest around it. Talk about, these divisions definitely being, definitely being kind of in that realm that deliver a lot of excitement. And I think this thing is going to work itself out here. Just needs a little bit of time to, try to percolate. But I want to ask you about this one, because this is a banger match that not a lot of people are talking about. But Dorian Perez, Pono Paul. I mean, this match, if you don't know, you better know. You better know. This one here, let's talk about it, my man. Pono Paul, Dorian Perez. Give me a description of what you know about both of these guys and how you think this match is going to unfold.
So, I've yet to actually meet with Pono. We'll get to meet this week, and I'm excited. he was kind of like how Vern Cathy was for season 1. He was like the dad figure of the Slap House. So for when season 3 rolled around and you got to see him, take that lead role and take responsibility for all these guys and try and calm down situations that were aggressive and all this, and just be a leader. It's huge to have that kind of impact on something so new, and just to take that role, it definitely means you're moving in the right direction, and you have a good sense on your shoulders. So this match with this older guy who's he's intense, he's very intense. He's cutting his throat and he brings the energy. Now Dorian, I super impressed by his title fight. Really, really impressed. Nobody's hit the bell harder. I think he definitely has one of the hardest strikes in Power Slap. Dorian does. Chin too. One of the best chins. He'll be bleeding out of his face and laugh at you while you hit him. And he seems to really enjoy a good challenge. So I think he's really game for this match. And if Pono can't take the shots, some heavy shots, then I think we're going to see Dorian edge him out.
Yeah, I think what's crazy about Dorian is he's so young, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you, from the outside looking in, I personally don't think he looks so young. But the dude's 26 years old. I mean,
I look younger than he does.
Yeah. I mean, he's 26 years old. Like, he looks – he doesn't look it, but he's extremely young. And that's what's crazy about the whole thing. The guy's taking so many shots. I just think the experience level here is so different. But like you said, the X factor for Pono is that he really has, like yourself with the right on one, this whole lean on one, this new way to approach things. I mean, it's not out publicly yet, but it will be here shortly. Pono's flying out to meet people and help them train. I mean, this guy's taking his career to the next level, and it's just so interesting to see. Again, this is strategy versus strategy, and I'm interested to see whose game plan will work, who will be able to impose their game plan on the other come March 7th.
I think it's kind of bad to give him. I mean, it sucks that Dorian goes from having one of the greatest heavyweight title matches that's going to go down in history of Power Slap to, not having a rematch right away. Something that was that close. I feel like that rematch was kind of justified, but to throw Pono in this fire like this, it kind of, it's a nut up or shut up kind of situation for Pono. It's huge opportunity to challenge Dorian for that number 1 spot. So it's going to be a big moment if he can show up and show out. I think it'll surprise a lot of people.
I can't say I've ever heard that one. Nut up or shut up.
I see you smiling.
You never heard that before? It's because you're Canadian. Canadians don't nut up or do anything.
I figure if you're on a porn scene or something,
No, bro. Canadians just don't nut up. You guys don't do anything fucking tough.
I guess.
Hide and seek World War champions.
Yeah. Too funny, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's 2 Americans now.
Yeah. Who won the Four Nations Cup thing?
Bro, who won the World Wars?
You were watching it, buddy. That's the worst part. I didn't even watch it. You're sending me updates. You're like, oh, America's up. America's up. And look who's talking about it now.
Well, we did beat you guys up.
We beat
you guys up.
In 9 seconds, 3 of you guys got beat up.
We're gonna win the tournament, buddy.
Scoreboard, yeah.
Scoreboard. We won that game. Technically, it's 1-1, so we still got to settle the score.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That's not the way it works, dude. Who has the trophy?
Bro, Canada has never won anything. Anyway.
Yeah, well, guess what? Here, I'll give you this, okay? America is something like 59-0 for Super Bowls. You guys are the champion of Super Bowls. You've won every single time. Canada 1-0.
Canada has some really, really good TV shows.
Yeah, Canada's about to be the 51st state here in a second.
And I wouldn't be opposed about it, man. It means I don't have to pay that $5 million for your golden citizenship that Trump's put out there.
So what's
Tell me a lot about our politics. I can't tell you a thing about your politics other than that your prime minister quit or president, whatever you guys have.
what's your guys' plans for the tailgate? What are we doing?
Well, smelling salts is number one on the list.
I've never tried them. I've never tried them.
You will on video. That's the best part. That's the part we didn't tell you guys.
I'm ready. I'll go first.
That's how we get your fee waived for coming in. You gotta sniff the smelling salt. What else we got, Corey?
That's awesome. What else we got, man? We're gonna leave trading cards. Be there. We're gonna be breaking cards. We've got the live podcast there. We've got Head Rush can be there with their promo girls. So maybe you can get down and frisky with those young ladies, Mr. Anthony Blackburn. Not sure if you're on the market, but bring your belt. You never know.
We're gonna bring it. That's for sure.
His face looks mortified.
That'll kick seasonal depression. It will be like, "Where's the promo girls?" I don't know. They went with Blackbird.
If Marianne is watching this, I'm sure we'll get a DM shortly. But yeah, man, lots of good stuff. We're actually gonna have a strength challenge going on as well, so they'll have fun with that. And then of course we're gonna have TNT out with the Power Cube. So,
oh, sweet! Yeah, I'm ready to hit that thing again.
Samples of alcohol for anyone who's interested.
And then as well, Dasul vodka is going to be out as well. So you're not fighting, so you can indulge in some samples and adult beverages, my man.
I don't know if fighting.
Come on, okay. This is an untold story, okay? Untold story. Once again, I remember walking through the casino. Manny is beside me.
This? Oh, are you
we passed you? We passed you in the lower level of the casino.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, dude, and you looked like you were on another planet, dude. To be honest,
was I pissed or when was this?
He doesn't even remember it.
No, because I remember I seen you one time outside of Circa, and I was fuming because something happened at a place we were at.
No, this was after that.
Okay.
Yeah, this was after that, and you look like you were enjoying yourself. And then
that's good.
The next night and take Manny's belt.
Yeah,
I was like, holy shit, dude.
Hey, some people are built different. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Whatever you did around the bonfires in Michigan, man, you were doing that night, and it seemed to do you all right.
That's funny. Only time I've ever been knocked down.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. You passed the drug test, so that's all that matters. Oh shit, man, that's awesome, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you stopping in as always. Look forward to seeing you there next week, and we'll see you out there at the tailgate party March 6th, Stadium Swim.
See you guys.
Let's go, my man. All right, Ding, bringing it down over an hour now. The finish lane is in sight. Let's talk about one thing though. You sniffed this out real early. I want you to kind of give me some insight as to what happened here on Dana's Live. And a comment made by Mr. One John Davis.
Yeah, so shout out to Mac Life. They I guess when Dana goes live, they just start recording right away. So that's impressive. But yeah, one of the live comments when I was watching it, it says, "Why is Turpin ducking me?" And that's from John Davis. So I was like thinking to myself, John Davis is 185 pounds. Austin Turpin is supposed to be 205 pounds. So why would Turpin be ducking John Davis, and why would that be a conversation? And I think that's a good time to end the show.
Until next time, next week, Circa Sports, we've got the Power Slap 12 tailgate party going down, Stadium Swim. As we talked about, Dasul Vodka is going to be there. Head Rush is going to be there. Leave Trading Cards. We do a live podcast. If you're in Vegas, come and check it out. Otherwise, we're going to be live right here on YouTube starting 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. in the East. Look forward to it. Travel safe, everybody. Safe weight cuts to all the strikers. And let's have a banger of a week. Next week, we're going to be dropping our content schedule out here very soon. We are going to have the preview show taking place Monday. We've got obviously the live event as we talked about. And then on the Thursday, we're going to bring you post-fight interviews and the press conference following the event. Until next week, my man, all the best, Sting.